Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. Welcome to Story Time, and I'm Sofiyya. Today you're joining us for the story of Prophet Hud. Let's get started. Allah blessed the descendants of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, and they spread all over the earth. Who remembers the story of Prophet Nuh, the most patient prophet who tried to save his people from the punishment of worshipping idols, and whose peoples were drowned by Allah's great big flood because they weren't believing in him? Do you remember what Prophet Nuh did? Prophet Nuh built a huge ark, a ship for the believers, and 2 of every animal to survive the flood. And he helped them spread Islam. One community out of those that came after him that grew from the people was called Ad. There were strong men with bodies like iron. No, I don't mean Iron Man. They conquered everyone, and no one was able to conquer them. They did not fear anyone, but were feared by everyone. Do you know anybody like that? Allah blessed the people of Ad in everything. Their camels and sheep filled the valleys, and the hills, and the horses filled the streets, and the footpaths where their cities were filled with children. There was lots of laughter and happiness, and they were just in charge of everything. Now, when the sheep and the camels of Ad went out to the pasture, they made a very beautiful sight. When the children went out in the morning to play, they also made a very beautiful sight. The hills and valleys were just full of happiness and plenty people and growth. The people of Ad had a very fertile green lands full of gardens and springs. But the people of Ad were not grateful for Allah for all of the blessings. How could they forget the story of the great flood, which they had heard so much about from their fathers and their ancestors and forefathers, and they saw traces all throughout the lands? They forgot why Allah had sent the floods against the community of Nuh in the first place. And so they too began to worship idols, just as the people had done before them. They carved them out of stone with their own hands, and they bowed down before them and worshipped them. They asked for them what they wanted, what they needed, and they prayed to them. They even sacrificed to them. They were following in the same footsteps of the past disbelievers, the same past mistakes. Their intelligence did not keep them from worshiping idols. Their strength and their cleverness, that did not keep them from worshiping idols. No matter how much richness and how much strength they had, they still did wrong, and they still disappointed Allah. Nothing that they had could guide them towards their religion when they were so stuck in their ways. The strength of the Ad had become a curse for them and for the people around them because they did not believe in Allah and they did not believe in the next world. How could they not believe in the hereafter? Boys and girls, do you believe in the hereafter? Do you believe that one day you will be judged for all of your good and bad sins? Make sure you always do what your moms and dads tell you and always do what you're told to make Allah happy. We don't want any kinds of punishment coming on you like the people of Ad. What was to stop them from acting unjustly, from being tyrants and from hurting people? They didn't think about anyone else besides them, and they lastly didn't think about anyone above them. They didn't fear the day of judgment or the punishments. Do you fear Allah? Do you know what will happen on the day of judgment? They were just like wild animals, running around like they owned the place. The high and the great among them would wrong the low. The strong would harm the weak. The old would harm the young. And when they were angry, they were like mad elephants who wanted to kill whatever they met in their way. When they made war, they destroyed every living thing in their path. When they entered a village, they laid waste to it and squashed all the people within it. They thought they could run things like they were in charge. The weak were terrified of their evil and fled from their injustices. Their strength was a curse for them. They were hated and feared by everyone around them. That's what happens when any people who do not fear Allah and do not believe in the hereafter take control. The Ad did nothing but eat and drink and play and amuse themselves. They competed with each other in building the highest castles and the biggest houses. They wasted their wealth on water and clay and stones. Whatever they saw an empty place or high ground, they built a castle. Sounds like the beach to me. When they built houses, it was as if they were going to live forever. They didn't think that they would ever die. They built castles without any need for them, while other people could barely find anything to eat or drink, and few of them had any shelter. The poor among them could not find anywhere to live, while the houses of the rich were empty. Anyone who saw them and their castles would know right away that they did not believe in the hereafter. They did not believe in having to answer to Allah for all of their wealth and all of their decisions. Allah wanted to send a messenger to the people of Ad. Allah does not like his slaves to disbelieve. He does not like cruelty and corruption on this earth. He wants us to all live in peace and humility. The Ad did not like using their intelligence for anything except eating and drinking and playing and amusing themselves in their castles. Their intelligence was wasted because they did not use it for serving Allah. Their strength was wasted because they did not use it to help other people. They did not understand, and so they continued to worship the stones as if it were the stones that gave them strength and wealth. Allah wanted to send the Ad a messenger from among themselves to guide them. He knew they would only listen to someone that they would know and whose words they would understand. Prophet Hud was that messenger. Unlike Prophet Nuh, who was a poor, simple man, he was born into a noble family and grew up intelligent and virtuous. Hud had wealth, and he stood up among his people, and he said, "O my people, worship Allah. You have no God except him. O my people, how can you worship stones and not worship the one who created you? O people, how can you worship stones today, which you had just carved yourselves yesterday? Allah created you and provided for you. He blessed you with your property and your children, your crops and your cattle. He made you rulers after the people of Nuh, and he gave you physical strength. How could you ask for more? How can you question the bounties and the mercies of Allah? Part of what you owe for these blessings is to worship Allah and to say thank you, not to worship anything but him. The dog to which you throw your bones does not leave you, and he'll follow you like a shadow. Have you ever seen a dog freely leave his master and go somewhere else? No. Have you ever seen any animal prostrate before any idols? No. You should be above these animals. Aren't you higher than the animals? The Ad were too busy eating, drinking, and playing and amusing themselves. They were content with their lives. They didn't want to listen to anything anybody had to say. They couldn't be bothered with what Prophet Hud said. They just laughed and they said to each other, "What is Hud saying? What does he mean? We do not understand what he says." They called him a fool, a madman. Has anyone ever came to you, boys and girls, and telling you things that you just didn't understand? For example, have your teachers ever told you, "Well, put away your toys"? Have your mom and dad ever told you, "Take off that TV, it's time to go do some homework"? Now, I know you might not want to listen to them. Sometimes you just feel like 5 more minutes won't do me any harm. It's just 5 minutes. But you should always listen to those around you who are in charge, who are put there, who you should respect. Allah gave you parents to follow the rules that your parents set because your parents know best. Okay? So do your teachers, so do the imams. So always listen to them. You never know when something's going to happen and you're going to need them. Prophet Hud was no madman. When Prophet Hud called them again, the nobles of his people said, "We see that you're crazy. We think you're a liar." "My people," he said, "there is no madness in me. I'm a messenger from the Lord of all the heavens and the earth. I convey to you the messages of Allah, and I'm a faithful advisor to you." Hud worked hard day and night to counsel his people. He called them with wisdom and kindness. "Oh, my people, I was your brother, your friend just yesterday. Don't you know me, my brothers? Why do you fear me and flee from me? Why do you call me crazy? I would not want to take away your riches. I don't want to take away your strength. I want to richen your hearts, O my people. I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for your wealth. My wages only fall on Allah." The people thought he was a scam. He only wanted them to sacrifice their wealth and give up their castles and their treasures for a humbler life. They had earned their wealth. They had built their own castles. Who was he to talk about giving it up and taking it away? Has anyone ever tried to take away your toys or something you worked hard for? I know you all must have felt mad like the people of Ad, but we can never, ever forget everything we have. Our toys, our homes, they're all blessings from Allah. These are merely material gifts that Allah has given us. If you aren't grateful to Allah, He could take it all away. That's why we must always be grateful and obey Allah. Trust Allah and pray to Allah and Allah alone, and He will reward us all. Oh, my people, what do you have to fear? If you believe in Allah, Allah will not lessen your riches at all. Allah has blessed you with them. Allah will continue to bless you with your wealth, and He could even increase it. Do you hear that? Not only will Allah continue to bless you if you obey Him, He will increase it. Only Allah has the power to give you everything in the world. My people, why are you surprised at my message? Allah does not speak to each person individually, telling each one what to do, this and that. Allah sends His messengers. Do you wonder that a reminder from the Lord should come to you by means of a man? You all remember the messengers of Allah, right, boys and girls? We should always follow in the footsteps of the prophets, always listen to them, and we should always take heed. Prophet Hud knew his people were skeptical, that he, a human just like them, could be the true messenger of Allah. I mean, he was just like them before. The people of Ad could not think of an answer. So they said, "Our idols, our gods are angry with you. You have been afflicted with a mental disease. A curse from the gods has struck you." They thought he had gone insane. He had lost his mind. Oh no. Hud said, "These idols are only stones. They cannot help or hurt anyone. They neither speak to me, nor hear me, nor do they see. They don't possess good or evil. They have no power to bring harm or benefit to anyone. This is no curse from your fake idols. This is a blessing from Allah. And you call me the crazy one? You yourselves, you don't possess any benefit or any harm for me. I don't believe in your gods, and so I don't fear them. I don't fear anyone but Allah." He had true faith and trust in Allah. And when you, boys and girls, have faith and trust in Allah, you don't have to fear anything else. Just fear Allah, and He will protect you, and He will provide for you. Just remember, only Allah has the power to provide. Truly, I have put my trust in Allah, my Lord and your Lord, Prophet Hud.